there guys, so today we're talking about mobilizing the elements of the shoulder, right? When we think of our shoulder, a lot of the times we can think of it at a very high level where, hey, I have, all these pieces that kind of move together and my arm gets moving, right? Or I can think very granularly and think about each piece as they kind of work off of each other. I can think of the shoulder blade and what it does. I can think of the actual arm bone itself, how does that interact? And today what we're going to be looking at is basically there's a bag, our shoulder capsule, our joint capsule of the glenohumeral joint, right? The big fancy words for it. Basically the bag that holds that arm bone up against that shoulder blade, right? Of course there's the rotator cuffs and all that kind of stuff, but we're going to be mobilizing all of those tissues at the same time. Now, you can watch the video of how to do it on the back side here. I think it's here. I think it's over here, where we're using the cross ball. Check that one out. But now we're going to be mobilizing the front side using internal and external rotation. So what I'm going to be using today is my kettlebell right here. Now, you can use a barbell, you can use any sort of weight to anchor down into that shoulder. But what I'm gonna do with my kettlebell is I'm gonna lay flat down on my back, and this is a 44-pound kettlebell. This is the first one I grabbed. It's a little heavy for what I'm wanting to do, but it should work nonetheless. So I'm gonna lay flat down on my back like so, and I'm gonna get the kettlebell up onto my shoulder, right? So where I'm putting it, is basically, if we look at where my pec runs into my arm, there's kind of this front edge of that armpit. Right on top of that is right about where I want to be. Now, you have some bony bits right at the top here, right? That acromion, that kind of, sometimes we might be feeling pain up in here. I don't want to be on that bone, I want to be just below it, okay? So, we get our kettlebell and we let that sit right on there, right? So, what I can do from here, just like any mobility drill that we do, I can incorporate my breathing to try to get those muscles to relax out a little bit more. But the motion that we're gonna go for is external rotation, i.e. trying to take my wrist and touch the floor above me, and internal rotation all the way down and in. Most people are more inhibited, or that's not the right one. Most people have lack of motion or kind of restriction into this internal rotation, almost like I was trying to take my hand and touch the ground. So what I'm gonna do, right, because that's the one I want to mobilize a little bit more, is I'm just gonna take that and go a little bit more. I'm trying to do this motion, right? I'm actively contracting down, 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 and relaxing. And down, 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 and relaxing. What this weight does, and you might be wondering, why in the hell do you need to beat yourself up with that weight? If I take the kettlebell off, if I don't have this weight on and I go for internal rotation, you see how this shoulder can come up? That's not doing anything at this shoulder joint. It's actually moving my shoulder blade, which is not wrong. Your body's trying to get around something. It's trying to do an activity. But what we want to do is we want to facilitate that shoulder blade, or that shoulder staying down and just working on this glenohumeral, this arm to shoulder blade joint. So again, that kettlebell right where the pec inserts into kind of your arm, kind of right up in the top. You might want to feel too, if you do a bicep curl, your biceps tendon comes right up into this area as well. Again, you don't want to be on a bony spot, but you want to be right here in that zone, falling just off that pec. I'm off here at like 90 degrees off of my body. I swing down, I swing up, back and forth, back and forth. And the reason that we do this, right, is because a lot of the times for a lot of our lifts, a lot of our daily activities, we need this internal rotation, whether that's
reaching behind us to grab something out of the back seat of the car, reaching up to scratch our back or undo our bra strap. I'm in the high hang when I'm doing some of my Olympic lifting. If we look from the side, I can hold this shoulder back much better and get to a true bit of internal rotation. My wrist almost can get behind my back if I swing in. I'm, of course is he trying to fake it? No, if I come here, right? That's all the internal rotation that I got right now. So what I need to do is mobilize that shoulder, but I'll do that off camera. Play around with this. It's a really strong mobility drill, so I like to do it once or twice a day for about as long as we did it here, about 1 minute to 2 minutes. And what that should do is that should really get those tissues moving, should get you a lot more capabilities in your day. Stay to the end to watch Chase be stupid.